Lourdes Loyola's story is one of a kind. Not only did she revert to Islam, but her whole family, including her husband and children, reverted. After her reversion, Lourdes gave her sons the choice to be Muslim and asked them that if they ever choose not to be Muslims, it should be because they have found something better. Lourdes' husband remained a Catholic for years. He took his time and was never pressurized to convert, but did it only when he wanted to. This was a shocking and emotional moment for Lourdes, who never in a million years thought that her husband would convert. So who is Lourdes, and how did she come towards Islam? Lourdes Loyola is a Mexican woman who served as a U.S. soldier in Afghanistan. In her reversion story, she talks about the butterfly effect and how different incidents and different people each played a small but pivotal role in pushing her towards finally accepting Islam. In 2009, Lourdes joined the military, and around 2015, she started looking into Islam. She was deployed to Afghanistan twice and interacted with Muslims quite regularly. She wasn't looking to accept Islam at that point, but she noticed how nice Muslims were. She felt that they were so different to how the media and the news portrayed them. They were absolutely normal people. Fast forward to 2015, Lourdes has a brother who she knew was Muslim, but all she knew about him was that he did not eat pork. She had no clue about other teachings of Islam. In 2015, at the time of the election, there was a lot of negative talk about the Muslims on social media. Lourdes believes that a characteristic which brought her closer to accepting Islam was her innate desire to stand up for people. And when she read all the propaganda against the Muslims, she knew she had to do something to defend them. She wanted to come at people with facts, so she started doing research so she could deal with the trolls with facts. She started looking into the Quran. Soon, in Nebraska, she found the opportunity to attend an open house. She has a lot of questions that she wanted answers for. Everyone at the open house was very nice and warm. At the time of the Q&A, she asked questions about why Muslim women did not have the same right to inheritance as Muslim men. She also wanted to know why Islam was perceived to be a terrorist religion. She was satisfied with all the answers. When she asked why Muslims were not allowed to eat pork, the answer she got was because Allah said so. The answer did not satisfy Lourdes, as when she was little. She used to attend the church very regularly, and the advice and answers she got from the church were quite similar. Example, have faith, or just because. This wasn't enough for Lourdes, as she believed in facts. But alhamdulillah, a true heart always gets a chance to be guided. And a woman came up to Lourdes after the session ended and gave a detailed answer to Lourdes about why pork was not allowed. She gave facts and rationale, and Lourdes was convinced. Lourdes believes that this was a sign from Allah, who knew where her doubts were and instantly provided her with an answer. Everything made sense now. A brother then asked her what was stopping her from taking Shahada. Lourdes answered, nothing. Next, he asked, so do you want to take your Shahada right now? And Lourdes said, yes. I don't know about you guys, but at this point of the story, I have goosebumps and tears in my eyes. What a beautiful, inspirational story this is. Lourdes explains how she always felt a pull in her heart, forcing her to seek the truth. And when she finally said the Shahada, she felt like she had made it home. She felt at peace and felt like she's finally where she wanted to be. This happened back in 2015, and since then, Lourdes' study of Islam and Quran has continued. In her recent podcast, in the Ansari podcast, she has talked about how not once she has questioned her decision to revert. She especially mentions how she does not feel oppressed as a Muslim woman, a view that a lot of Westerners have. Once Lourdes accepted, she went back to her family, and her husband was extremely supportive of her decision. This is a true blessing, as a lot of reverts are tested by Allah through their family members' lack of support. Lourdes' husband wasn't a Muslim yet, but supported her when she decided to take the boys to the mosque. He encouraged her when she first started wearing the hijab to work. Lourdes talks about how she has loved her journey to Islam and did not allow anyone to pressurize her or rush her. She accepted Islam in December 2015. but started wearing the hijab full-time in the summer of 2018. She felt ready for it. She felt it would make her closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lourdes talks about how her decision changed little by little. When she went to the gym, she would be in normal gym attire, but slowly she started moving towards loose-fitting clothes and turtlenecks to cover herself up the way Allah has told women to. She stresses how in some cases, hijab is taken as all or nothing. Either a woman covers herself completely or she takes it off. People around them do not let them go at their own pace, criticizing them for not doing it properly. Since Lourdes did not have anyone telling her what to do or what not to do, she went at her own pace and finally reached a point where she embraced it completely. Lourdes talks about how she was convinced that her husband would never convert, and she was okay with that because he was supportive of her choice. Even though Islam does not allow a woman to be married to a non-Muslim man, Lourdes felt at that time that she wasn't ready to break her home because her husband was so supportive and would take the boys to the mosque and stand guard when they all had to pray in public. She says that she got advice from muftis, and in her case, she wasn't advised to divorce her husband, and she explains it beautifully, that if she had divorced her husband, all he would have taken from that is that since his wife converted to Islam, she divorced him. And similarly, what her children would have learned would have been the same. So common sense and advice from the scholars told her not to divorce her husband, who was being very supportive, as her story was about reversion, and thus her case was different. But 4 years later, her husband also converted to Islam. One day, they were all at the mosque and attended a khutbah about how Muslims should be built of their foundation little by little and not be critical of others who are behind them in their journey towards Islam. When they started to come out of the mosque, Lourdes remembers her husband just saying that he wanted to be Muslim. Lourdes was shocked. They went back into the mosque and Lourdes' husband took the Shahada. That moment was so beautiful for Lourdes, and she says that they all were beyond happy. Hope you enjoyed today's Revert story. We hope that it gave you more strength and courage in your journey towards Islam. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more moving, heartwarming stories.